Hello and welcome, Fall 2020 Internet students, to the orientation for your class. My name is Robert DiGiovanni, and what I'm going to do is kind of run through all the little details about the course, the way things I've set up, the way I have things set up, and what you should expect for the class. So let me start out by just saying, this is a fully online course, with the exception that you will have to be present 2 different days at a certain given time to join a session where you will take 2 exams, and I'll be monitoring those exams. So other than that, everything else is pretty much self-paced. You have deadlines that you have to meet, but it's calculus online, and this orientation is actually being made for all 3 calculus courses that I'm teaching this summer or this fall, which is Calculus 1, Calculus 2, and Calculus 3. So all of you are watching the same video, and there are differences between the course, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you first everything that you all have in common, and then towards the end I will talk individually about each course, and then when you get this video I'll tell you where what times to watch for your specific class. That way I only have to make 1 video instead of 3 different ones. So, okay, I'm just trying to be efficient with my time here. So let's get started. So this is the Northwest Vista's main website. So what I'm going to do is log into ACES. I'm assuming you know how to do this already. I'm already logged in, so it just took me right to the screen. I'm going to click on courses and make sure I'm looking at fall. And as you can see, this is what I'm teaching this summer, or I keep saying summer, summer's over, this fall. It's pretty much all calculus. I do have 1 college algebra. So I'm gonna go in and look at the Cal 1 class. But like I said, what I'm gonna show you in the beginning here is the things that everyone has in common. So when you come in here, this is called Canvas, and this is where you go to get all the information for the course. So the first thing is communication. So we have an inbox here, and all official communication must take place through Canvas. You cannot be sending me emails from your Yahoo account or your Gmail account. Everything has to be done here to be considered to be official. So this is, pretty easy to navigate. You've got your inbox over here, and then if you want to create a message, you can go here. You can select your course that you like. Let's say 2413. That's Cal 1. Then you can select the teacher, which is me, and then you can type up your message. You can do attachments. You can even attach a video. No one's ever done that, but you can. And that's it. So I'm going to cancel that. That's how we communicate. So if I tell you I'm going to send you something through Canvas, this is what I mean. And blue dots mean you have not checked that email. And if there's no dot, that means you have. So, okay, so let's get back to the course. I'm going to look at the Cal 1. Like I said, just going over the things they have in common right now. I'm going to switch over to student view so it looks a little bit more like what you should expect to see. All right, so right now we're looking at the home page. There's a page for your grades. Once you start getting grades, this will populate. You have the syllabus, files, discussion board if you want to get on with any other classmates and have discussions. People, that's a way that you can link with your classmates, send them emails if you want to set up like a study session. And at the end of the semester, there's a survey. So those are the main tabs here. We're looking at the home page right now. And there's lots of things here for us to cover. So first, I think it would be best if I start with the syllabus, because like I said, this is the thing that everyone has most in common, all 3 courses. So first thing is meeting times. So all 3 classes have to meet in Zoom. Okay, so Zoom is a video conferencing software. You'll have to download it to either your phone or your PC, and you'll need to be able to join in with these Zoom meetings. There's 2 of them. On Friday, October 23rd at 9 a.m. and Friday, December 11th at 9 a.m. Both of those sessions will last 4 hours. and that's where you're going to take tests. So you have like it's exam 2 and exam 4. You have a total of 4 exams in the class. Those 2 have to be done live, and I'll get into the details of how those exams will take place, but you have to be there. And so it's going to be important that you work your life around that. If you work, you know, I'm giving you several months heads up. Maybe you can work with your boss. If you absolutely cannot make the meeting and you've tried everything, you're going to have to email me and request to take it at a different time. You'll have to explain why you can't be there. And then I'll have to work with you individually on that. So all I ask is that if you know you can't make that, then I need to have at least 2 weeks notice. Okay, so you need to let me know 2 weeks ahead of time that you can't take the test. If you email me 3 days before the test, say, hey, I can't make it, I work, I'm gonna say too bad. So 2 weeks notice. If you miss the exam, then it's a 0, all right? Okay, so next thing is contact information. I already said my name is Robert DiGiovanni. Now it has here an email address. We're not using that because we're using the inbox in Canvas, but here it is, you know, maybe down the road, future, if you need to get a hold of me, this is the way you can do it. And then it has a phone number here. Now this is really important because I offer my students my cell phone number. So especially with internet students, it's very useful to have this technology where if you need help on something, you can text me. And what I ask that you do is take a picture of the problem that you're working on. Make sure you have the problem there. Take a picture of the work that you've done up to that point, and then, you know, just let me know what's going on. And what I can do is I have this little stylus on my phone, and I can write whatever I want. I can doodle up on your work, or I can work out the problem on my own, whatever. So I just ask that the first time you ever text me, that you include your name and what class you're in, just so I know who you are, just that first time. Now, also, I have office hours. Now, these are Zoom meetings where you join in, and I would be present at these times, and I have 3 different sessions that occur every week. On Mondays and Wednesdays from 10 to 11. If you click here, it'll take you to an online meeting, and you'll be put into a waiting room, and then I'll go and I'll grab you, and I'll put you in a room by yourself, or if there's other classmates there with you, I can put you all together, and you can ask me questions, right? And I have office hours, you know, Monday, Wednesday, 10 to 11, also Monday, Wednesday, 1 to 2, and then also Tuesday, Thursday from 11 to 12:30. So all of these links are the same, okay? And you'll also need a password to get in, so the password's the same for each one, all right? All right, now in terms of materials, you do not need to buy anything for the class, all right? When you register for the course, you paid for the materials in your tuition. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be going to this online, this separate website called Webassign, and that's where you'll have access to the electronic version of the book and all homework assignments that I'm going to give to you. So I'm going to show you how to do that, but just don't go out and buy anything because you don't need to. Now, if you're one of those people who really feel like you need to have like a physical textbook, then you can buy the book, but that's an additional cost to you, all right? Now, description, this is going to be specific to Cal 1, but you know, Cal 2 and Cal 3 has their own description, objectives, and outcomes. Won't really go through that. I'll let you read through that. The most important thing, the thing you're probably most interested in, is your grade. So we're using a standard grading scale, you know, A, B, C, D, and F. Of course, I will round up. If you get an 89.7, then that will be an A. And an 89.3 would still be a B. So hopefully we won't be nitpicking about little tenths of a point. But in the event that we get to that, I will round up. Okay. let's see, how is the grade determined? So you're going to be doing homework assignments. And again, that's going to be on Webassign. Like I said, that separate website where you go do your homework. All of the work that you do there is 10% of your grade. And then you're going to be taking an exam at home, okay, just like your homework assignments. And the exam 1 and exam 3 are both done on your time. You don't have to schedule it with me. You just go and open the exam. Now they are timed, so once you open them, you have to take them. But those exams, you know, you just do it, all right? Now I am going to require that when you do exam 1 and exam 3, whatever work you do, you have to handwrite all your work, and then you're going to have to submit that to me. So I'll show you how that's going to happen later on. But for now, just know that those exams 1 and 3 are pretty much on your own time. Now exams 2 and 4, those are the ones that you have to come and do live during a Zoom session. And as you can see, those have a huge percentage, a huge weight to your, you know, your grade, 35% each for those exams. And that's just because we have to, well, I feel like I have to keep, you know, keep the integrity of the course. And I need to see that you are doing the material, or you are doing the work, and that you can perform under the pressure of a time constraint and the pressure of an exam. So those exams 2 and 4 are very important, and will be live. Okay, so how is the course designed? The way that I've done this for my online students is as follows. You're going to open up a schedule. Now, each course should have a schedule. Let me go back to the home page. And every course, Cal 1, 2, and 3, should have a schedule, and you'll click on that, it'll download. I recommend you print this out. Okay, so let me bring up this schedule. This is the Cal 1 schedule. It's very simple. I try not to make it overcomplicated. What we have is the name of whatever it is that you're doing, the task, what type of thing it is, and when it's due. So you start off, you look at the schedule and say, okay, I've got to do a homework syllabus confirmation, and that's due on the 27th of August at 11:59 p.m. And I also have to do getting started with Webassign, and I've got to do that also by the 27th by 11:59 p.m. Then I don't have anything else due until the 30th, but then that's when I have to do section 1.1. Okay, so you follow this and you'll notice things are kind of clumped together. Those are due on the 30th. There's one assignment due on the 6th, 2 assignments due on the 17th. And then notice you have an assignment due on the 20th, but you also have an exam due that day. That's exam 1. You're supposed to do that at home, and it covers material through 1.6. So everything you've done up to this point, this exam will cover. So it's up to you to keep track of these due dates, all right? Now remember, this is just Cal 1, so Cal 2 and 3, you have your own schedules, but that's the way it works. And you're just gonna work through the whole semester. So you look at the schedule. Let me go back to the syllabus, because it was explaining how the course was set up, right? So you're going to look at the schedule to determine what sections are due. So remember, there was like a homework syllabus confirmation, and then there was a 1.1 or something like that. So now what I'm going to do, or what I expect you to do, is to watch lecture videos, okay? So again, I'm going to go back to my home page here. What you should see here are lecture videos. And these videos were done over the past few years. And what I did was I recorded these live in a classroom setting, right? And so if you click on these, you can see they're broken up by sections. So remember, the homework assignment, the first task on the schedule was the 1.1. So if I were a Cal 1 student, I would go here and I would watch this video. Now, that's me talking, so I'm going to mute myself. So what it is a video of me going through lecture notes, and then doing some animations. I'm actually working some problems by hand. Let me just kind of play this so you can see it. Okay, I'll unmute it.
It was X cubed. But now the volume is actually what was.
So that's the way the Cal 1 looks, okay? It's almost like a whiteboard, and it's me going through my lecture notes and doing examples while I go through that. And it's a traditional lecture, so it's going to be a long video to watch. Now I do want to show you just quickly, I want to show you what the Cal 2 and 3 look like, because those videos are a little different. I went away from the whiteboard and I just went to a video of me in the classroom. So let me bring up the video. So if I can find, oh my goodness, where are we? Here's my Cal 2 internet lectures. So I have a YouTube channel and I've got tons of playlists, and this is the one that this is the one I want the internet students to watch. Now, just ignore that it says Tuesday, Thursday, 3 p.m. Just the important thing is the section. So for Cal 2 students, their schedule says to start with 3.5. So they would come here and they would watch this 3.5 video, and you'll see here. You can see it's a different sort of setup. It's me in a classroom, and I'm working through lecture notes. And all these lecture notes I'm working through, you will have access to. But it's me working through those and doing examples and drinking my coffee, and so it's a little different for the Cal 2 and 3 because it's me up on a actual whiteboard. So a little difference there between the classes. But the fundamental idea is the same, and that is, let me get back to the syllabus here. So the fundamental similarities there are that, oops, I went too far. Right, is that you look at your schedule to see what section you need to cover. Then you're going to watch the lecture video, okay? Now, after you watch the lecture video, that's when you go to Webassign to do the homework. Now, I need to show y'all how to get to Webassign. I'm going to do that in a moment. But you go to Webassign after you've watched the lecture. That's the whole idea. Now, when you do your homework, the assignments are not timed and you get multiple tries at each problem. So there's really there's no reason why you shouldn't do really well on homework problems, because you can try the problems over and over. Now, if you struggle with the homework, okay, then I also provide homework solution videos. So I'm gonna go back to the homepage again. So you should see a link here for homework solutions. And these are videos of me working through problems that are similar to the ones that you'd be working on, because Webassign automatically generates like differences in problems. But if you watch my homework solutions, it's broken up by section. So again, if I click on that, it's a different YouTube playlist, and it'll be me working through problems. So see, homework 1.1, homework 1.2. So you have that resource also available to you. Let me back to this syllabus, sorry. Okay, so you've attempted the homework. If you're struggling, you watch the homework solution videos. If you're still having trouble, you can join my office hours, right? I told you there was 3 different times every week I'm available. If you still can't figure things out, well then text me, right? I told you you could send me pictures of your problems and whatever you're working on, just include the picture of the question and your work. And hopefully by that point, we're good to go and you can move on to the next section. So you finish that homework and now you just repeat, right? You go watch the lecture video, you try and do the homework. If you can't do the homework or you need help, watch the homework solution videos and then reach out for help if you need help. Now, I will warn you, on the homework solution videos, you have to be careful, because if you just sit there and watch me do the problems, then it's very easy to get complacent and feel like you understand it. The whole idea is for you to try the homework first and then see where you're getting stuck and kind of watch my videos like in conjunction to see if we're both approaching problems the same, as opposed to just watching my video and saying, oh yeah, I can do that, because it doesn't ever work that way on a test, right? You get to the test and you're like, I don't know what to do. So the whole idea here is for you to get good at problem recognition and knowing what method to use to successfully complete the problem. Now, like I said before, exams 1 and 3 are very similar to homework, okay, because you're going to be doing them at home. The only difference is you must complete them in one session and they are timed. So once you open the exam, the clock starts. And I say here, don't open it unless you're ready, because if you go try and open it right now today, then the clock starts, you're going to run out of time, and that'll be it. Now, once you do open the exam, you're ready to take it, you do get 2 attempts at each problem. So if you get it wrong, you can check it when you submit the answer. It'll tell you you're wrong, and you get 1 more chance to get it right. So remember though, you'll be sending me copies of your work, and I'll tell you how to do that later, but you'll be sending me copies of your work. And so if there's any partial credit or anything like that that I need to give you, we will have that copy of your work. And you have to submit it, it's not an option. So if you just do your exams 1 and 3 online, you get 97s on them, but you never submit me work, then I will not accept the grade of 97. So the work is required. Now, a little bit more about exams 2 and 4. These are a little complicated, all right? So there's a lot of rules here and things to explain. So what's going to happen is you're going to join this Zoom session, right? You're going to have a ton of students in here, probably close to 90 students are going to be all in this one Zoom session. And so as soon as everybody's there, what I'll do is I will send out an email to each class, and that email will contain the exam. Now, once you receive that exam, you're going to copy down the questions. I know that's a pain in the ass, but you're either going to copy it, hopefully you have a printer. If you have a printer, you can just print it out. But since I can't really require everyone to have a printer, I have to give everyone an opportunity to actually physically copy all the problems down. And that may take 20 minutes, you know, for that to occur. Once the copying portion of the test is over, we will start the exam. And then at that point, everyone must turn off their computer screens, and they must sit there and start taking the exam on separate blank paper. Now, during the exam, like I said, you have to have your computer screen turned off, and the only formulas you can have are things that I provide to you, and we can get to that later. You must have a camera, and I suggest you use your phone, so you'll have Zoom on your phone, and then place it in a position where I can see your entire work area. This is so important. So let me show you what I mean. Let me bring up a picture. This will be a good example of what I expect during these tests. Okay, here it comes. Maybe. Yeah, it doesn't want to open that, does it? Well, try it again. Maybe this time. There we go. Okay, I don't know what was going on there. So this is a picture that I took using my phone, and it is set up the way that I would want you to be set up during the test. So notice that I can see the person, I can see the workspace in front of them and everything around them. And these computer screens would have to be turned off, but That's what I want. I do not want to see, like, I don't want to see something like this, where all I see is just like that much of you, right? I need to see everything in front of you, everything around you. Okay, so you got to get the camera set back far enough where I can see that. And that's something that you need to practice, because if you show up, let me go back to the kind of rules of the exams. Well, I'll get to the consequences if you don't do that at the end, but just keep in mind, you'll have to have it positioned where I can see you in your work area. And then video of you taking the exam will be recorded. So I'm going to have all these videos of all these students, each one of you individually. It's going to be recording you taking the test. And so that way later on, if there's any question about, you know, hey, you know, you disappeared for 15 minutes, where were you? You know, like, I have video evidence of everything. Now, once you finish this, this again is where things get weird. Once you finish the exam, what you're going to do is within Zoom, there's a chat feature. I'm going to bring up the chat box right here so you can see it. There's a little chat box, and what you'll do is you'll send to, not to everyone, just me. And once everyone's in here, you'll be able to find me in here. And you'll just tell me real quick, hey, I'm done with the test. Okay? So at that point, when you're done with the test, basically the clock starts for you. All right? And then you have 15 minutes to get all of your handwritten work that you just did saved as a single PDF file. And so if you have a scanner, it's great, you can just do that. But most of you are going to wind up taking pictures of your work with your phone, and then you're going to have to use some app, maybe like Cam Scanner or something like that. You're going to have to get all those pictures condensed down to a single PDF file. So I wanted to show you an example of that by showing you some work that I have from student last semester. So this was sent, yeah, they use Cam Scanner. So this is this is a single file that was sent to me, and notice that it has all the problems and pages and everything. It's all in one file. All right, that's what I want. All right, that's what I expect. So you'll have 15 minutes to send that to me. All right. Now, if you fail to have your camera set up properly during the test, I'm not going to keep on, you know, I'm not going to interrupt everyone and send you messages saying, hey, fix your camera, fix your camera. It's in the beginning, I'll tell everyone, look, you know, get your camera set up. You all ready? Okay, everyone looks good. You know, Joe, hey, fix yours. One time I'll look at everyone's camera and give everyone a chance to get set up. Okay. But after that, if you move your camera and start messing around, I'm just going to kick you out of the test and you're going to take a 0. All right. And I don't mean to be kind of a hard ass about that, but this happened to me over the summer. I had, you know, a student who would set up the camera perfectly, and then as the test went on, the camera moved and they slowly went off screen, and they were doing stuff over here that I couldn't see, and I kept on having to interrupt everyone to tell this person to fix their camera, and I'm not going to interrupt the class once the test starts. So if you're messing around, I'm just going to kick you out. Now, also, if you don't send me a single PDF, then you'll get a 0 on the exam. So I have to have your work. It's your responsibility to make sure that the file that you send me has all your work. I had a student last semester who sent me a file. One student sent me a copy of the exam, which didn't have any work on it, so I couldn't accept that. I had another student who they were missing like 2 or 3 pages, and then they wanted to turn it in like 3 days later. I said no. So make sure that when you get that file, that single PDF file, that it has all your work in it. All right, now once you send it to me, I will grade it. So I'm going to import your file into OneNote. That's just like I showed you here a second ago. I brought this student's work into OneNote, and I was able to check and mark things, you know, and I will grade it. And then I will post your grade in Canvas in your grades, and I will send you back the file. And it'll be, when you click on the grade for the exam, there will be an attachment and it'll have your file. So you'll be able to look at what you got wrong. Okay, so that's the way exams 2 and 4 are going to work. Now, exams 2 and 4 are 70% of your grade, and that means those are very important. So here's the thing. Here's what I would advise you to do here. To do well on these 2 exams, you've got to practice your homework. Okay, so after you do your homework and you submit it and you get a grade, when you're reviewing and preparing for the exam 2 and 4, just go back to your homework. You can click on your homework and you can redo it. It won't affect your grade. You can practice new problems. And so I would recommend getting to the point where if someone were to go and just pick a random homework problem from a section, and you look at it, that you don't need anything, you don't need to break your notes out, that you can look at the problem and you know what to do. Okay, that's the comfort level you want to get to. All right, so do and redo and just be persistent. Now there's some other things here about requesting extensions. So in Webassign, when you do your homework, I know that sometimes life's going to get in the way. You might miss a deadline. If that happens on the homework assignment, don't worry about it. Just the deadline, once the deadline comes and goes, as soon as the deadline or the assignment expires, then there's an option to request for an extension just through Webassign. And you can do that. You can request an extension. You don't need to email me or anything. It will automatically give you an extension. I believe it's a 3-day extension. And but the downside of that is there's going to be an automatic 10% penalty for it being late. So that you can do on all your homework assignments. When it comes to exams, you cannot request extensions through the system. You actually have to call me. So exams 1 and 3, if for some reason you're going to miss the deadline, you actually need to contact me, either a Canvas email or a phone call. Now, attendance, I expect that you'll be doing your work, keeping up with the schedule, meeting your deadlines. If you continually miss deadlines and have to keep requesting extensions, then I'm going to consider that lack of participation. And if you do that more than 3 times, I can drop you from the class. Just be aware of that. Now, there is tutoring available. And these tutoring, if you click on that tutoring, it'll give you a couple of options. These are Zoom sessions where there's tutors there and they can meet you one-on-one online and help you. All right. So if you can't make my office hours for my own Zoom sessions, then you can use the tutoring. This stuff is just stuff I have to have in the syllabus. I can kind of let you read through that. And then there's the schedule. Again, this is just the Cal 1 schedule. Okay, so that's kind of, I think that gives you a real good, hopefully a clear idea of how the course is laid out and how we're going to do things. I'm going to go back here to the home page, and I'm going to go to this link, Webassign. All right, so I told you I'd show you how this all works. So I'm going to go to Webassign. I'm probably going to, okay, good. It should take you to this login page. Now, like I said, you've already paid for the class. So what you're going to do is you're going to get this key here, and I think you'll be able to copy it. And be careful. This is the Cal 1 key. Cal 2 has a different key. Cal 3 has a different key. All right, so you go to Webassign, you get to this login screen, and then you're going to enter the class key. Let's see if it lets me paste this or not. Oh, it worked. So it says enroll, okay? Your class key has been recognized, blah, blah, blah. Say, yes, this is my class. And then the rest of it should be pretty self-explanatory. Just make sure that if you've never used Webassign, if you have an old account, you can just use that same account. But if you, if this is your first time through here, just make sure that your name, like when you register your name, use the same first and last name that you have in the Alamo College's roster. I know sometimes people change their names and things, and I get nicknames, and just first and last name the way it would appear officially in my roster. Because I've actually had students before that had completely different names, and at the end of the semester I accidentally gave them an F because I didn't even know who they were. So just make sure you do that. At no point should you ever have to pay for anything once you get into this, okay? So if it's asking you to pay or something, you need to let me know, okay? So I'm going to get out of that. I'm actually going to go into Webassign. Once you've got yourself enrolled, then the next time you go in, you'll just log in. So I'm going to log in right now. Now I'm logging in as me. So it's going to look a lot different than what you'll see, but let me see if I can go to student view. Let me see if I can get to, yeah, it's not going to show anything. Well, okay, yeah, see, the class hasn't started yet, so none of the assignments are showing up here, but you'll see here current assignments. As you start going through the class, this will be populated with a list of assignments for you to do, right? And you'll click on them. So I think for Cal 1, it was 1.1 was the first one. I'm going to show you that homework assignment in a second, but this is where they'll appear. Do not use this communication here. Like I said, communication is done through Canvas, okay? So if you're having a problem with the homework problem, you send me an email through Canvas or text me, just take a picture, okay? Also, the grades here, the way that Webassign does grades is kind of weird. So officially, your grades will appear in Canvas. And so I'll update your grades in Canvas at each exam. So exam 1, exam 2, exam 3, exam 4, expect to see your grades get updated. Something real important here is here's the ebook. So if you click on that, it'll bring you to an electronic copy of the book. So you can actually go in here and go through the sections. So here's chapter 1. A little slow. Okay, chapter 1, section 1, functions and their representations. So this is a interactive textbook. Just letting you know, like all the materials here. Now remember, I said that I'm going to be providing lecture notes, okay? So just keep in mind that on top of the lecture notes, you have the actual book if you need to refer back to something, especially if we get into sections where there's some algebra stuff, some review, or like if you're in Cal 2 and you go back and look at something from Cal 1, you have the book, all right? And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you should be able to get, yeah, to the exercises. Okay, so these are the actual assignments, exercises that would be like at the back of each section in the book, and they actually have answers to all the odd ones. Okay, so you're not doing any of your homework in here, but just again, this just to let you know, you have this electronic version of a book, right, that you can access. All right, so I'm going to close the student view. I'm going to bring up a homework assignment just so you can see it. Thought I was closing the student view. Well, come on. What is going on here? Okay, it's not liking me. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you what the homework assignment looks like for that first 1.1. Again, this is for Calculus 1. All right, so you have a problem, right? You have a problem here. Now it's actually showing the solutions right now. Let's see. It's showing the solution, but yours will just have, like in this case, it's kind of like true and false. Here is where you have to put in answers. And notice that on some of these, a little equation editor comes up here. Well, that's why the first assignment, or one of the first assignments, is to go through a tutorial. And you'll see that in your list of assignments. There's a tutorial that kind of helps you learn a little bit about this. But I think, you know, it's 2020, so most people can figure this out. Like if I want to do a fraction, I click on that, 3 over 4, and then, you know, exponents and things like that. So you put in your answers, and then you can check them, and that's your homework. Now, I'm also going to point something else out that's important here. Over here on the side, you'll see something, all these weird numbers, letters. Here's the thing that is important right there. Those numbers right there. That means that it says 1.1.002. That means we're in chapter 1, section 1, number 2 from the book. So if I go back and open up that ebook, let me do a different one. Let me do this one. This should look 1.1.004. This problem should look very much like number 4 out of the book. Now that's actually not super useful, but like I said, if you want to work out of the book, then if you want to reference the book, you'll see that there's some overlap here. Where's the ebook? Okay, let me bring up the ebook. So 1.1, and it was number 4. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this. I know. Okay, so number 1, number 2, there's number 3, here's number 4. See how that graph looked a lot like that problem we were just looking at, and it asks you to state the values where this is true. That's pretty much exactly the same as the problem that we just looked at. So that's, those little numbers on the side are important. They cross-reference to the textbook. Okay, so that's kind of Webassign in a nutshell. The first 2 assignments you'll see here. First one is homework syllabus confirmation. So that's just a yes or no question. All that is I understand the requirements of the class. It's just you basically signing off saying, I get what we're supposed to do. And then you have the getting started, which helps you with that little palette on the side for fractions and exponents. And then you actually start your assignments. And then you get to the exams and so on and so forth. So again, yours is going to look different. Yours is going to look more like this, but you know, your assignments will appear in a list right here. Okay, so let's see here. Go back to the home page. What are some other things we have in common here? You're going to see here a link to formula sheets. So you can get to that from files also. This all 3 courses. If you just click on files, you're going to have class notes. Remember I said that I'm going to be working through notes on my videos that you watch during YouTube. If you click on this, you can download this to your computer and just go print it out or something. But these are the notes that I'm basically going to go through. All right, so you have access to that. That's all within the files. Here for Cal 1's broken up by chapter. Formulas that you can use. So for Cal 1, these are the formulas that you're allowed to use on the exams. So I think there's like 6 pages right here. So you're going to need to print those. Okay, so you need to figure out a way to get them printed, take them somewhere, take them to a friend's, send them to a friend. I don't know, but you've got some time. But those formulas, if you want to be able to use them on a test, then you've got to have them printed out. All right. So make sure you get to that. There's also some other things here, but the most important things, this is where the class notes are, and this is where the formulas that you use on the exam are. What else do we need to talk about here? I think that's pretty much it. Okay, we have grades, the syllabus went through, files, discussion board, that's optional. You can use it if you want, people, yeah. So that's pretty much it. Now at this point, what I'd like to do is talk about some specific differences between Cal 1, 2, and 3. So let's talk Cal 1 first, since we're here with Cal 1. You actually have 2 sets of videos that you can watch. Okay, so you have what I call course videos. So remember, you're supposed to look at the schedule and say, oh, I'm supposed to do 1.1, all right? Well, first you watch this course video, and the course video is, and I'll apologize ahead of time, the audio on these are a little bit messy.
Our first chapter is called Functions and Limits. And here tell you that this.
So what it is it's me working through the lecture notes. And if you go through this, you'll see that during this, there's animations that I'm using. And stuff. So I'm showing you animations,
now
talking through. So the course videos are to get you introduced to the ideas and definitions and things like that. And then the lecture videos are the ones of me in that classroom going through the lecture notes, but focusing more on examples and doing more problems. So for Cal 1, you've got this course video to get you introduced to the idea, and then class videos, which is me working through problems. And then you go do your Webassign homework, and if you're having trouble, you click on homework solutions, and these homework solutions are actual solutions that I did from problems directly out of Webassign. So your problems will look a little different, but notice this looks like a Webassign problem. And it's me working through this problem, kind of writing on the screen as I do it, okay?
Into F up here. We get 5 squared is 25.
Let me close that. All right, so for Cal 1, that's the way it's set up. Course videos, class videos, go try the homework. If you have trouble, watch the homework solution videos, all right? Okay, now, let me talk Cal 2. Well, actually, I can talk Cal 2 and 3 together, because Cal 2 and 3 together, or Cal 2 and 3 are a little bit different. I don't have course videos. So let me get to Cal, let me look at Cal, let's do Cal 3, so we don't leave them out. Cal 3, let me go to student view. So notice here you've got your class key, it's different than the Cal 1 was. But notice here, you just have class lecture videos and homework solution videos. So let's go to class lecture videos. This is the same for Cal 2 and Cal 3. So you go to your schedule, you say, okay, what do I need to do? And then, oh, the first section is 10.1. So you click on it, and the lecture is me, again, standing up in front of a classroom. And I'm working through here. These are animations.
The domain of this function would be what?
Oh, I sound like I'm sick in this video.
Okay.
So you'll see I'm
Because I know for some of you, I probably. Okay, now I'm going to try and do my best to not.
all right, so you watch the lecture, right? You watch the lecture. Now, this is the thing for Cal 2 and 3 that's different. It's the homework solution videos. So in Webassign, I'm gonna open up that Webassign again. In Webassign, when you're doing your homework, let's go to Cal 3. Let's look at an assignment here. Let's just look at the first assignment. No, let's go a little deeper in. Let's go to 10.5. Okay, so here we go. So here's Cal 3. Let's say you're working on this question right here, all right? You've watched my lecture video, but you're having trouble with this, all right? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna come over here and you say, okay, this is out of chapter 10, section 5. This should be like number 3 out of the book. Now, why is that important? It's important because on my homework solution videos, I'm actually working problems out of the book, not out of Webassign. And it's me, where were we, 10.5? Yeah. So it's me working through these videos, working through these problems out of the book. So what you're gonna need to do is see if I did number 3 here. Oh, there's number 3.
The line extends forever.
See, so remember the assignment, right? It was problem number 2 in the homework assignment, but out of the book it's 3. So when you go look at my YouTube video, you want to be looking at number 3. Find the vector equation and line through these points. So now you can watch this, and that should help you. That should help you with that problem out of your homework. So that's the big difference between the Cal 1 and the Cal 2 and 3 is the homework solution videos are not exactly matched up with the Webassign. they're matched more in the book, but you can cross-reference using that little number in Webassign. Now, look, this one section, this homework assignment took me almost 3 hours. And if you start looking at all these homework assignments, you'll start to realize that there's a lot here, okay? Like there's hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of video. Same with Cal 2, okay? So I think that's it. I think I've provided everything. Those are the differences. You know, at this point, if there's anything else that you have questions about, we can work that out via email or text or phone call. So thank you for sitting through this. I look forward to meeting everybody at some point. Hopefully you'll join in on a Zoom session during my office hours and do a little meet and greet. Okay, that's it for now. I'm going to stop this recording. You take care.